What I'd like to do is basically walk us through a sort of body-centered deconditioning meditation. If you want to think of it as a meditation, you don't have to think of it as a meditation. Okay, you can have your eyes open, you can have your eyes closed, you can lay down, you can sit up. I don't care at all how you do it. You know me, I am like the least dogmatic person out there when it comes to these types of things. All works. I've done it in every conceivable. I've done it while driving, I've done it while flying, literally while I was flying the plane. I've done it in every circumstance that you could possibly imagine, right? So it's very flexible. You don't need to be in any sort of circumstance or anything to use it. You do, however, need to be able to pause and really focus on your body. And so let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to walk you through it, beginning to end, with a very simple body-centered practice. And what it essentially involves is looking over your body, taking a moment to sort of look over your body and look for any areas of tension or pain it can be, or, it can feel like areas where there's a lot of energy or whatever, something that isn't something that's noticeable, something that stands out. There's a lot of different ways to describe these types of things. We're not looking for any specific category. Pick a spot, go into them, and just put their attention on it. That's it. You begin the process basically by just picking a spot, putting your attention on it. What happens next as the equivalent of trying to coax a baby deer out from the edge of the woods into a clearing to eat something out of your hand. So as you might imagine, a baby deer is very timid, probably takes a significant amount to establish trust with that baby deer such that they're feeling safe enough to venture out from behind cover into an open space and have an interaction with you. But that's basically what you're looking to do, is move in the direction of interaction. You begin the process of moving in the direction of interaction by just putting your attention on this thing, whatever it is that you're noticing. All right, so that's the setup. I'm gonna talk you into it from there. And so if I were you, I would begin by focusing on that type of thing. I want you to basically scan through your body. Just look through your entire body. I don't care, head to toe, toe to head, fingertips to whatever. I don't care which direction you do it or how you do it. I just want you to make a few passes with your awareness through your body and see what's going on in your body. Just get familiar with the different spots that might have something going on. So I'm just going to pause for a few moments and just let you do that. It's no hurry. We've got plenty of time today. Okay, now I want you to go ahead and select one to put your attention on. And that's it, just put your attention on it. Don't have to do anything with it. You've identified a spot, now just go ahead and put your attention. And as you're putting your attention on it, I want you to start to get a feel for what its qualities are, what its properties are, what are its dimensions? You know, how big is it in your body? How far does it spread out in terms of the sensation, whatever it is that you're feeling? How deep is it? You know, start to get a feel for how dense it is. What other qualities does it have? You know, is it like a stone, or is it like a high, you know, energy power line? Does it seem to have emotions related to it? You know, what's there? Just spend a few moments basically just getting to know it a little bit. And as part of that process of getting to know it, I just want you to communicate a little bit of intent to it initially. And it's just that you're there. You experience it, see it, feel it, whatever you want to use. And you know that you're establishing a link, you're establishing communication to it. You know, you're there, you're paying attention. So go ahead and do that for a bit. Now that you've got a sense of connection to it and a sense of it on at least some levels, some dimensions of its existence, I want you to just communicate a willingness to listen to it. Just let it know that you're here, you're paying attention, and you're open to whatever it has to share with you. But remember, don't be surprised if there isn't some flood of communication that comes right away or something like that. We're talking about, you know, building that trust to get the fawn out from the edge of the forest, to eat out of your hand in an open clearing. Right? It's that type of idea. And you've been ignoring this for a very, very long time. It's been trying to get your attention for a very, very long time. You may have to spend a little time proving to it that you really are here. You really are open to what it has to share with you. So work in that direction, start in that direction, just to communicate that intent, and then just keep your attention on it and see what comes. Just keeping the intent, keeping the communication, keeping the receptiveness to the communication. And if you start to do something, if you start to receive some information or impressions or something along those lines, one of the things that you can do is you can communicate those back. You can say, with no judgment, no commentary, nothing like that. Okay, I think what I've heard is this, that type of idea. And sometimes if it's just an impression, you might just be intending this along with the impression, something like that. But just beginning to build, if you will, a dialogue or an understanding, beginning to allow this, whatever it is inside you, the sensation, whatever we want to call it, to begin to feel heard, begin to know that you are listening, and are willing to understand. And so to say, this is, this is what I'm getting, this is what I'm understanding, is this correct? And just kind of getting a flow back and forth. You can also pay attention to any changes that happen over the course of this session. One of the things that is considered a benchmark for this method is a reduction or a substantial change in some way in the actual underlying sensation itself. So you can just track those, just keep an eye on that as well. Even if you're not getting anything back, if there's some change in the underlying sensation, could be intensifying, could be weakening, whatever else, you know that there is a connection, you know that there is a dialogue there, if you will, an exchange that is forming. So just keep with it, keep your attention on it, and keep open to any sorts of things that you get, paraphrase them, send them back, so to speak, with a double check, am I understanding this? And, always with the intention, tell me more. I want to know more. I want to really understand. I'm here. I'm giving you all of my attention. And I really, really want to understand. Help me to understand. Doing great. Just keep at it. Keep that focus. Keep that attention on there. Now, as you wind into this, it's okay to be more questioning. And so you might just directly ask, what is it that you have to share with me? Or you might ask, what are you, or who are you, or what are you about? What's causing this sensation? Or it's okay to let your sort of cognitive questioning mind come in. Just remember to be open and be positive. You can find with this process that you can really, really deepen it. It's like peeling the layers of an onion in a way. You just can go sort of to deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper things. And you should feel corresponding changes in your body and sensation as that happens. There's something else that can happen in association with this, and that is physiological releases. Depending on how much work you've done with your body in the past, you might notice very strong jerks, muscular jerks, or things like that, actual, jerks in the body. That's perfectly fine. That's extremely common with this. And so, it's okay to just let those happen. You want to just let those happen. It can be contractions sometimes, contractions that are held for a long time. It might even force air out of your lungs, and you might make, sounds and, whatever else, or it might just feel like something wants to emerge, like a sound or something like that. There's all sorts of, at the body level, releases that can happen. You don't necessarily have to have, detailed answers to what this is about. It's possible that it will just release through the body itself. So that's another thing to keep in mind. The third thing to keep in mind is a straw method, where it's like you would imagine putting a straw into this place, whatever it is, whether it's pain or tension or energy or whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're putting your attention on. And it being almost like a straw puncturing like a packet of juice or something. Oftentimes in the supermarket, you get a cardboard piece, package of juice or something. You have a straw and you kind of jam it in there to drink it out. And the idea is inside this, whatever it is inside you, inside that sensation inside you, there's you visualize that there's a tremendous amount of pressure built up that's just wanting to go out. And so you can visualize sort of putting a straw in just like you do to the juice, except that there's just so much pressure in there that it just immediately starts to flow out through that straw. And you can watch it just keep going and going and going and going. And you can pay attention to the physical sensation and just see that energy, or whatever it is. It could be an emotion, could be any number of things. Whatever is in there, just let it come out that straw. Sometimes I would do visualizations where I'll feel like I'll need a bunch of straws, and so I'll have like a whole layer of straws that come down and puncture it in all kinds of places all at the same time. Innovations like that, those are totally fine to use. So first, maintaining the communication, putting your attention on it, really trying to wind in, see what it wants to communicate with you, and so on. That's the dominant piece of this method. If you reach a point where you feel like you're at the end of that being fruitful, then you can try something like the straw method, while keeping your attention on, while keeping the communication open, while keeping your impressions to it open. And so and then the third thing is not limiting your body from it needing to move if it needs to, or make a sound if it needs to, or whatever, as part of the release. Okay, so we're going to keep doing this. I'm going to let you keep doing this for about another 15 minutes or so. I'm just going to let you go into it. I'll let you know when we're close to wrapping up, but not when we actually wrap up, so you'll still have some time if the process needs to finish. Okay, just a few more minutes. Keep with it. Next time I come on, it will be time to wrap up. Okay. Go ahead and come back. Thank it. Tell it that you're going to keep a line of communication open. It's always welcome to communicate with you. Maybe apologize for having ignored it for so long. Let it know you'll be getting back to it soon, but always keeping sort of an awareness of it as well. All of that, again, you're basically building that relationship.